Hey there, Hofstra fans. Welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com. My name's Kevin Dexter, joined, as always, by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride men's basketball team, Cassara. Coach, thanks for the time.
Kevin, absolutely. Good to see you.
Coach, tough week for your team in the early week, but you finally get a victory yesterday against Old Dominion. It must feel good to be back in the W column.
Yeah, it was. It was a challenging week for us, at Drexel. Tough, hard-fought game where we found a way to get back in the game in the second half. We lose Stephen Wacconi to a kind of a season-ending injury, which we didn't know at the time, but then came back on a quick turnaround one day later to play George Mason. I thought one of the games this season where we really did not play well throughout the game and really were beat pretty handily by a very good George Mason team, and then able to have a couple good days of practice and then get back in the win column and have a good win against Old Dominion last night.
Well, you mentioned the Drexel game on Monday and losing Stephen Wacconi, a guy who has kind of been unheralded, but one of your better players all season, averaging close to a double-double. What does this team really miss you've seen in the last two games without him on the floor?
Well, he's got an unbelievable presence. I don't think there's many guys in the league that are stronger or tougher than Stephen is, and we certainly miss him on the boards. I think he got his 12th rebound, which is tied a career high at the Drexel game when he finally hurt his shoulder, and we unfortunately got some bad news that he is going to require surgery and be out for the remainder of the season. So we're missing a lot, missing that guy, that kind of anchor in the middle, and certainly some depth on a team that already is very thin.
Well, we'll get to the win against Old Dominion yesterday in a second, but when you look back at the two losses earlier in the week, you lose in two very different ways. Drexel, you keep it close. George Mason, they controlled the game throughout. How tough is it to keep the team positive when you go down and you play a tough Drexel team, you lose a close game, then you lose in a bit of a blowout fashion, to keep them still fighting towards the game?
Yeah, it's a real challenge, Kevin. I think it's something that, that's one of the real challenges of being a coach, being a leader. And I think it's been a challenge for us throughout the year because we've been close. Like even in the Drexel game, we didn't really play our best in tough place to play, tough environment against a team that's picked to win the league, preseason player of the year in the league. We battled back, cut the game to 5, and just ultimately aren't able to win. And we had a lot of games like that this year where we battled and hung in there and found a way to remain competitive. I think that game, coupled with a quick turnaround and playing Wednesday night off a one-day rest with really 6 guys, really hurt us against George Mason on Wednesday.
When you look at Old Dominion last night, your team comes flying out of the gate. We know recently you've been slowing down the tempo a lot, but you get out on the fast break, a couple of big dunks from Wacconi. The team seemed really energized in the early going.
I thought we had some great energy last night. I really did. We still have some things we got to tighten up and get a little bit better at, but I told our guys we needed to come out with great energy and really try to get Old Dominion back on their heels a little bit and take advantage of them being on the road and having a short bench as well. And I thought we did that from the start.
And Coach, we know that this team runs on their seniors, but you get two of your best performances of the season from your two seniors in the starting lineup. David Imes, 18 points, 2 off a career high. Stevie sets a new career high with 10 assists in the game. How did you evaluate them, I guess, in their second to last game at home in their careers?
Great point. And for us to be successful here down the stretch and to play well, those are the guys that have to carry it. Those are guys that have played a lot of basketball, they've played a lot of games, they've played a lot of games at Hofstra, they've played together now for enough time, where those are the guys that have to make shots, make plays, and ultimately lead us. And if they can continue that, I think we'll be a very competitive team here as the season winds down.
Well, another guy you got a big lift from last night off the bench was Kwan Brown. And I know he said the stat postgame that you didn't quite believe it, that he had 14 rebounds all year coming in, but had 11 himself last night. What kind of lift did he really bring in that energy off the bench?
Well, again, I give him a lot of credit. I did in the postgame press conference, too. He had a really tough first half where 2 minutes, I think he had 2 turnovers, 2 fouls, and 3 fouls, I think, and 2 turnovers. So, a tough start to the game, but he, had a great attitude. He was talking on the bench. He was positive in the locker room when I got on him a little bit, and then came out and gave us a nice lift in the second half.
Well, before we look ahead at this week, looking back at the win for this team, do you feel it's a bit of a sigh of relief, get the monkey off your back, you on that 4-game losing streak, and gives this team a real positive thinking going into the last 2 games in the conference tourney?
Yeah, I think it does. And we're home again on Wednesday, no travel, and a pretty easy trip down to Baltimore on Friday, so not too much travel, not too many flying or anything like that, with a short group and a short bench. I think that really helps us a lot. So anxious to get back out in the court on Wednesday, but I think getting a win last night gives us a real shot in the arm.
Well, Wednesday you got Delaware here at home, but it is senior night, so first off, what are the emotions going to be like for you last game at the MAC for David Imes, Stevie Mejia, and Matt Grogan?
Well, I think those guys deserve an incredible amount of respect and credit for what they've done here, not just on the basketball court, but on campus. Stevie's already graduated, been here 3 years. It's hard to believe that that's gone by. Faced a lot of injuries last year and fought through all that, and has played an incredible amount of minutes in what's been a real challenging year for us this year. He deserves an incredible round of applause and credit from our fans and everybody associated with the program and the university. And Dave Imes and Matty Grogan, 2 guys who've been here for 4 years, have been through a lot and been with me every step of the way since I got here. And have had great games for us and been great teammates throughout their time here. And I think that what they've done not only on the basketball court but on this campus and around in this community will have a far-reaching effect for years to come, and just really proud of all three of those guys.
And you look on the court on Wednesday night at Delaware, a team you played tight at their place very early on in conference play. It was just the second conference game of the season. So looking back, obviously your team's a little bit different, their team's a little bit different, but it could be a potential matchup you'll have in the first round of the conference tournament. So how much are you thinking about that going into Wednesday?
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit as a staff this morning, and obviously we've got to prepare for Delaware. I think they're a little different than when we played them early in the year. Early in the year, they were really going to Hagen's a lot. Lately, if you look at their box scores, they're playing, their three guards, and they're shooting a lot of shots, and that's really the strength of their team. So hopefully we can contain their guards. We did not do a great job of containing Sadler, who I do think is one of the best couple players in our league, and we're going to have to do a much better job of that tomorrow night to have a chance to win.
Quickly, Saturday, heading down for the season finale down at Towson, a team that came in and beat you here at the MAC, and obviously they've had a resurgent season under Pat Scarry. What are you expecting to see from Towson?
Well, Pat's done a great job. He's got those guys playing incredibly hard, incredibly well, and I thought up here we had a chance to win the game. I think we got up 5 in the second half and kind of wore down. I think Benjamin is the best player pound for pound in the league, if not one of the best mid-major players in the country. And they're home. They'll have a lot of emotions there, playing their last game in their building. And we got to take one step at a time. We got to go out and give a great effort on Wednesday night, try to rest our bodies a little bit on Thursday, and then head down to Baltimore on Friday.
And Coach, finally trying to pick up these 2 victories before the end of the season in the conference tournament. What's it going to take to do that?
I think some of what we did last night, I thought last night we had some good ball movement on offense. I think, the ball went in, came back out, we made some shots. I think we moved the ball around the perimeter. We shared the ball pretty well last night. If we can get better at that and continue to do that and get guys moving around a little bit and continue to battle on the glass and limit the turnovers. When we limit turnovers, we get a good shot every time we have a chance to win, because we're going to play hard on defense, we're going to compete, and we've shown that throughout the year. So those are going to be the big keys for us, and they've been the keys for us throughout the year, but we're really going to have to tighten those up here down this last week.
All right, well, the last chance to see head coach Mo Cassara and the Hofstra Pride here at home this season will be on Wednesday, senior night, as they host the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. Then on Saturday, head down to Baltimore to take on Towson in the season finale. Coach, as always, thanks for the time. Best of luck this week.
Kevin, thank you. Appreciate it.
And thank you for tuning in to the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com.